Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Jewish Sex Life Podcast. My name is Meir Shavalsky, and I'm going to be your host today. First off, I want to introduce myself to you. I'm 33 years old. I live in North Woodmere, which is Long Island, New York. I own a travel company, a travel agency. We do high-end luxury concierge. I have two beautiful kids, and I love wellness, health, working out. 2 years ago, I lost 60 pounds, and I'm just really on a spiritual journey right now in my life. One thing that really has come up the past few months, and something I've always really thought about but never said, was the topic of sex. It's such a taboo topic for me. I grew up religious, and no one ever talked about it, and if they did, it was always being hidden. And now I'm like, what do I do with this? Because it's something that goes on. I date, I'm with women, and like, what do I do with my sexuality? So recently I was like, I want to talk about this. I want to bring this to light. I go on dates, and after a date or a second date, should I kiss the person? Should I not? How much should I go? Where can I touch? Where can I not? And all these questions come up, and there's no one to talk to about it. No one talks about it because it's like taboo. I don't want to discuss it. And I'm here to shed some light on this. I want to talk about subjects of consent, boundaries, communication, all regarding sexuality. So let's start. What does it mean? So for me, what does it mean? Like, I know myself. Let's say I go on a date with somebody. Okay, great. Maybe a first date. Is it good? Go on a second date. And that awkward moment when you get in, like, the girl's getting out of the car. It's like you want to kiss her, but like, is she okay with it? And there's like that body language and kind of that weird moment. So like, you could lean over and like, okay, let me try to go for the kiss. Or is it? So what I've done always is and this is even a few years ago, I was like, hey, can I kiss you? And a lot of times it'll be like, okay, yes, or or it's like, kind of like awkward. And one time a girl's like, it's just weird. And I said, why is it weird? And I think just we're not grown up like this, that like to ask. I think girls are just like, yeah, I don't want to like have that awkward conversation because it's just like so taboo, and just like kiss me and take me. But there's a consent to it, like, hey, can I actually touch you? Like, you have to be responsible for that. And yeah, there's so much that goes into it. And like, after you kiss the girl, like, it feels good. And like, do you want to go more? What the person's okay with? And recently I actually heard about this. I went to, what's it called? A spiritual, sexual, shamanic experience. And they talked about, it's the spread conversation. I forgot exactly what it stands for, but basically it says what you're about, like, before you engage sexually with somebody, what your boundaries are, what your intentions are, what your, if you have any previous, history, what your previous sexual engagement has been, so everyone could really be on the same page, and they could be responsible for themselves and for the other person. There's also so many emotions that come up. It's like, oh my God, he slept with me, now he loves me. And the other person's like, no, I don't want to be with her. It was just an experience for them. And what would it be like if you could actually have those conversations beforehand? And this is just in dating I'm going about. And then you have people that, in their actually marriage or their relationship, wherever they are, what that would be like to have those conversations with your spouse. First of all, what do you desire? Saying, oh, wow, I want to do this. Like, we are so, and I'm talking for myself here and the community that I'm around, like, so scared to say what we want. I know for myself is like, wow, I just want to take that woman and dominate her. And it's like, okay, cool. Does that person want to be dominated? Do they want to dominate? What's going on here? And to just have these conversations, and like, it's not taboo. And that's really what this podcast is going to be about. And this is the first one I'm making. I'm just doing it solo here by myself. But I really want to, people to come on and, share their experience, because I've been talking to a few people about this the past few weeks of like, I want to start this podcast. Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's, needed? And so many people have been telling me like, wow, this is like a needed thing in the community that like, no one's talked about, and, shed some light from it, and not from a bad place. There's so much spirituality in sex itself. Connecting to people is so loving, and so, the act is so sacred. And, something that I'm learning now, and like going on this spiritual journey to somehow connect that. Because, I've taken, courses that help with our mind. I've taken spirituality courses helping with our soul. And now I'm really kind of going into my body and like how my body feels. And that has a lot to do with sexuality, because there's a certain place, like, when everything, when something's in the dark, there's something hidden from us. So when we're not exposing our full sexuality, and whatever that means, it could be you're not interested, but exposing it and being upfront with it and communicating it, we're hiding something. And that's a piece of us that's hidden inside of us. God, or the universe, whatever you want to call it, he made this thing, sex. It's so crazy. Like, that's how we're born and come to this world. And we don't want to talk about the thing that actually creates us. The reason why we're here is because of sex. That's it. And we just don't like talking about it. And yes, there's so many different opinions, and we want to keep it secret. We want to keep it safe, and we don't want to expose people. But the truth is, people are hearing about it. We're living in today's day and age. It's all over. And you have social media. And what's the alternative? The alternative to people to doing this on their own and trying to explore it, there needs to be guidance, some type of guidance. And I'm not saying I'm the one that's guiding people, because I don't have so much history about this. And I'm learning as I go on the job and figuring out what works for me, what doesn't work for me. But I want this to be talked about. I want to be able to have conversations. We could sit down with a few people and just say, oh my God, sex, what is that? Oh, what do I like? What does he like? She like? And it doesn't have to turn into this whole thing of like, okay, you're awkward and that, and it's vulnerable. I get it. It is vulnerable. It's scary because no one talks about it. It's funny because money we could talk about. Oh, business, I'm doing well in business. I want to make $1 million. I want to do this. Why can't the same thing be regarding sex? Oh, I want to have sex with that person. I want to have sex with this. I want to have a threesome. I want to do this. Whatever it is, I don't know. You could go in your imagination, but why does it have to be so taboo? And it's going on anyways. That's the truth. It's going on. Whether you like it or not, it's here. It's in this world. People are doing it. And the question is this something that we could talk about, or is it something that we're gonna shy away from? And it really does make me happy, because the more I engage in it, and I've started seeing a lot of sex positive people and engaging in those circles, it makes me feel like a lot safer that I could have these conversations. Something that came up with me recently, it was like, do I even want a monogamous relationship, or do I want a polyamorous relationship, like an open relationship? And what would that look like? I'm a guy, I love people, I love touching women, like, maybe I could have a partner and, I love for some other people on the side, and give them my heart. And I've never even thought about it before a year ago. And now I'm like, okay, is this something that maybe is cool? It could introduce me. And I get there's a lot of things in the Jewish world, and there's, the halacha and the this, and what halacha is the rules. And I get all that. And, but where does it take place? Like, where do we go? I'm not a religious person, and you could have different boundaries with different people. And even if someone is married, let's say, so you could, even having conversations when, a person's married and doing everything according to the rules of, the religious cycle. And that's, I'm Jewish, but, this goes with any religion, there are tons of rules. And, having those conversations and being open about it doesn't mean you have to do everything. I respect all religions. But even with a person's partner, being open to anything, to conversations, desires, wants, and it doesn't have to be done the second. It could just have a conversation about it, because talking about it, being vulnerable, that opens up space for people to breathe, and they could decide what they want, what they don't want. And it gives people opportunity in life. And I'm just really excited to explore this topic with people, hearing people's opinions, maybe getting some people to come on here, talk about, if they're interested, what their experience has been, and really make this more of an open topic, in the Jewish world, in the regular world. I'm just really excited for it. It's something that really talks to me. I'm a person that I love talking about the unspoken, and this is, I feel, something that's just not spoken about, and I'm excited to shine light on it. So thank you guys for listening, and check in next week for another podcast, but just right now, appreciate it. Have a great day.